Come check out something wild with me. It is salmon season here in Alaska, and they're just all chilling in the river here. That's the Insta360 Go Ultra. It's like one part of it. There's a second part of it, but inside that like little tiny camera shell piece here, this piece right here, is actually this camera.
We have the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Definitely a lot larger, but same sensor, huh?
Same sensor in that.
That's super impressive.
Insta360 Go Ultra. It's not just this, it's actually this. It's actually a two-piece camera, so the actual camera itself separates and it goes like this with magnets, and like that thing is not coming out. But this part of the camera right here, let's just go through a quick like tech spec. This part of the camera is 53 grams. Like this weighs absolutely nothing. It also has 4K 60 frames per second, active HDR, flow state stabilization. So no matter how you're shooting, whether it's vertical or horizontal, you're gonna be able to get stable footage. When you connect it to this piece here, you're also getting a flip screen, which means that you can film yourself as well as get low angle shots, and you can even get remote shooting because you can look at this as a monitor while you're filming with this. This part right here is actually waterproof up to 33 feet, and it has solved arguably the biggest problem from the Go 3 series, and that is it has a memory card slot. Previous camera did not have that. That means that this kind of jumps from like a hobbyist kind of camera into a prosumer camera so that you can do data management. There's a lot to talk about, so let's just jump into some of my favorite features about this camera. We have an increased sensor on this camera. That means you have a 1/1.28 inch sensor plus the 5nm AI chip that's inside. This is basically the Ace Pro 2 minus a few other features inside of just this little tiny body right here. So that means that you're gonna get great low light performance out of this. That means you're gonna be able to shoot longer throughout the day.
Here is a low light test. I'm shooting pure video mode, which is Insta360's version of like low light mode. We're still getting a lot of like, ambient light because it's Tokyo and there's just neon lights and signs absolutely everywhere. But I think this just gives you a little sense of like what the noise is actually like when you're just using the smaller camera.
Now Insta360 has a mode called pure video mode. It's actually my preference with shooting with a lot of their cameras, is that I like to use this to get rid of all of the noise in the image. And that is being done by their AI algorithms and this chip and this sensor all working together to get you a crisp image. The whole goal of this camera is to really isolate hands-free moments. So they're trying to give you like the things that you want out of an action camera without it interfering with your life so that you can clip it on you and then experience life while it's filming. I think this is gonna be a bit of a lifestyle vlogger and action sport enthusiast dream camera. The reasons why is that number one, it is so small. So you're gonna be a lot less intimidated to like be out in public shooting with this. You can just like document life, and that is a massive advantage. It's also got this great mic placement right here, and with their AI algorithms, you're able to isolate your audio and have higher quality vlogging moments. All right, good morning everybody from a gondola in Hokkaido, Japan. I'm gonna test out the Insta360 Go Ultra as a vlogging camera today, a little bit of a lifestyle experience as we go to the top of this mountain behind us and have a little bit of a day trip, check out an amusement park, and see if we can go through the paces of the everyday life here while we're experiencing Legends Week with Insta360. Okay, I'm just jumping in here quickly just for the battery life specifically, because I know that's always an important aspect to cameras. So when you're shooting 4K 30 frames per second with the camera in the action pod, you get 170 minutes of filming time. If it's just the standalone camera, you get 60 minutes. That's the official news from Insta360. Now back to what I recorded a couple days ago. And if it's ever getting low on battery, you have a fast charger of 0 to 80 in 12 minutes. I think it's important when a camera is versatile enough in order to fit into your life, and that means that they have options to give you flexibility for your specific shooting style. So that happens on the accessory side, which we're gonna dive into in a second, but it also happens on the post-production side, as well as the shooting modes that are available. So let me just break those down real quickly. Number one, it has one of the widest fields of view that you can shoot, 156 degrees of shooting visibility in certain modes. You can change the aspect ratios that you are shooting in, and you even have the option to go from mega view to ultra wide. I mentioned the stabilization modes, the flow state technology that they use. So this is something that you can turn on and off. So if you have like more static shots, you can turn it off. But if you want to have the like stable footage while you're doing something in an action sports environment, you can select through the different options as well as dial it in so you're getting the best quality footage for the activity that you're doing. And with this type of shape, it's extremely easy to go from horizontal shooting to vertical shooting. They even give you the option right here in your accessory if it's on your chest plate. So you can go like that and you're like, oh wait, I want some social media content. I can go like that and just quickly turn it without ever feeling like you're gonna lose your camera. You also have the option to use free frame video shooting mode, which captures the entire sensor so you can crop for horizontal and vertical. I will put a little asterisk here is that you are trading the stabilization in order to shoot in this mode. So you will have to add some post-production stabilization in order to get the shots, but you do have a lot of flexibility in your shooting modes. On top of those shooting modes, I wanna break down a few more that just make it easier for storytelling and getting a variety of shots. So you have the mode that you can go into for time shift. You have time lapse mode, which is just a great way for setting up the scene while you're shooting. You have loop recording mode, you have slow motion mode, you have star lapse mode, so you can get those like light trails on this camera. And there's a variety of other features, including some of the photography aspects, which we'll get into in a second. So personally, I think that the accessories area is really where this camera shines. And that is because it is so lightweight, you can put it in so many different spots. So number one, you have a hat clip. But what I love about the hat clip is that not only does it feel like it's not weighing your hat down and you can move around and get great POV shots, but you can also use the hat clip as a bite mount, which is kind of similar to this like Pro standard mount. And this was my normal setup. When I was using the Ace Pro 2, I would have this. And there's nothing wrong with this setup, but the issue is that this is just a little bit heavier. I have to put a lot more pressure on my bite in order to hold this. And after a while, it actually just starts to get a bit taxing biting down on this. That's one of the massive advantages of this camera. It's just like it weighs nothing. When you're moving on to some of the other areas, you also have this more like secure mounting option, which you'll see in a second here when we put this on an FPV drone. This just allows you to make sure that your camera's not gonna fall off just because of the magnets. This is like ultra secure. You have these fun sticky tabs that you can place in different areas. So let's just like, as an example, this is such a waste of a sticky tab. By the way, I would love to be sponsored by a sparkling water company. That's like the dream one day because I just smash through these things. And then we have that right here and you can just clip the camera right on like that. And now you have a mount on a sparkling water can. You have this flexi mount right here, which gives you the ability to mount this to like your bike or anything that has essentially like a round pole. I think anybody who has like a handlebar, motorcycle, stroller, this is a great option for mounting on some sort of circular-like object. Circular-like object. This is a really fun one. This is a ring remote. You have the option to put this and wear this as a ring, and now you have the ability to press record just like that. If you want to be able to frame up your shot, you also have this watch remote that you can wear so you can actually see what you're shooting and then be able to trigger it just from there. You have this quick selfie stick tripod. Yes, that's a tripod, just like that, where you can use this for vlogging, you use this in the world. I think this is just a quick, easy access piece that's just nice to use. You have the trigger remote right there, and you can even have that be a trigger remote so you can put this at a distance. And probably the most useful accessory that I'm gonna integrate into my workflow is this chest mount right here. So this actually gives you the option to change the angle at the back depending on what your chest dimensions are like. And this gives you more flexibility to angle the camera at the right spot. So this just kind of goes right over your head, and then this goes underneath your shirt. You grab the camera, and just like that, you have the camera on your chest to get all the shots. And if you want to start shooting vertical for social, you can just go like that, so easy. There is the option to make sure that you never lose this camera, so you pair it up with this little nubbin. There's this small PGY Tech nubbin or quick release piece that you can actually add to the camera. And then there's a safety yarn. There's a safety yarn? Yarn? What's the word I'm looking for? And there's a safety cord that you can attach within this setup right to this mount to make sure that you never lose this camera while you're out in the world. I was doing this in Japan. I was going on like those massive roller coasters. Number one, the magnets just held perfectly, no issue there. But had there been an issue, the camera could have slid off to the side and I wouldn't have been worried about losing it because of the safety cord. And the one part that is also just really amazing about this camera is that once you pair it up with your phone, it actually accesses the Apple Find My. So if you do lose the camera, you can just go into your app and see it placed on the map similar to your Apple AirTags. So I briefly mentioned at the beginning of this video that this camera is waterproof up to 33 feet, but that is just this piece. This piece is not waterproof. Definitely don't connect up the Action Pod and the Go Ultra into the same unit and try to use this in the water. This is a separate piece. Additionally, they do have screw-on lenses where you can actually put on ND filters, but there is a specific filter that is designed for shooting underwater. If you're shooting a water activity like you're kiteboarding, you're not gonna have to swap the lenses, but if you're going underwater and diving, you will need to swap this lens piece for the aqua lens on this in order to get images that are sharp underwater. And I actually think this is a great jumping off point to say that like these lenses are interchangeable and you can actually put on Pro ND options. I actually have a filter set here from Freewell that is available that you can get ND8, ND16, and ND32 should you want to get that natural motion blur in your shots. And additionally, if you do want to use the Action Pod with the Go Ultra, there is the option to use this with a dive case, which I got the chance to test out while I was in Japan doing whitewater rafting. So you can see some of the examples here. There's a few standout cases for this camera that I think a lot of people will appreciate. Number one, they have Toddler Titan mode. So because this camera literally is so light, this is light enough to put on a child's hat and then use the micro lens so that you can get expressions of your child enjoying whatever activity that they're doing. Here's a few examples because I don't have a child, but I figured you could at least see what Toddler Titan mode looks like. And the last one, I think for anybody that's into FPV and is still using a little bit more of a traditional FPV setup, I actually got to test this out very extensively with my friend John Derting in Alaska. Here's John's opinions after doing a flight with this comboed camera setup right here. Okay, we pull over to the side of the road. What we're gonna do right now is we're actually going to throw this on a FPV drone. What are your thoughts on a smaller camera on your FPV?
Less weight means longer flight times, and I love that.
All right, John, here's the camera.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, let's go through this up. Okay, we're pressing record. It is recording. What are you noticing right away?
It's much lighter and a lot more responsive. That makes a huge difference in how long of a flight you get as well. And how fast I'm pulling amps from my batteries is a lot slower right now.
You got a little piece. You did it. Thank you, sir.
That was awesome.
Great job.
Oh yeah.
This little camera can get you 50 megapixel photos. Here's a few examples that I've shot. You have a few different options. You can actually go to 12.5 megapixels and shoot in an HDR mode. And here is an example of the burst mode. 30 photos in 1 second. Kind of sick. There's now the option for 7 improved filters to kind of get the Fujifilm Leica look. And you have an Android quick share, which means that you don't actually have to use the Insta360 app. You can go right from the camera to your Android phone. And like most Insta360 products, if you are pairing this with the app, you have so many options for AI editing. And one of the ones that stands out for this one, because not only is this like a vlogging camera, but I also think this is a great family camera when we were talking about Toddler Titan mode. And I think for anybody that really appreciates having family moments, you can even have like quick weekly updates of just your family shots. The AI will will look through it, find the clips of your family, and create a little memory reel for you just in that week. And this is just a fun one, which has nothing to do with any of the other features, but I do want to mention it anyways. You can have your own do-it-yourself custom skins. Now I'm going to put an asterisk that's not available in the US, but if you want this to have a little bit of personality to it, I personally like the all black, but if you want your own style on that, you can upload your design and get a custom skin. So after using the camera for the last month, I have a few final thoughts. I think this camera sits in a world where if you're an introvert or you're just kind of getting into filmmaking or travel vlogging, I think the size of this camera is really important. I think this means that it's less intimidating for the things that you're shooting, as well as less intimidating for you to film with it. And because this gives you so many hands-free options, you have the opportunity to experience more of life while the camera films you. I think this camera is best positioned for capturing authentic moments, getting placed in areas that other cameras can't go, and allows it to be a fly on the wall or a camera on your chest to allow you to experience more of life while also capturing it at the same time. Last thing, just found out from Insta360 that anybody purchases a Go Ultra using my link below, the first 25 people will get an extra set of sticky tabs just for you. From us. I'm really excited to make this a part of my current kit. If you guys like this video, please press like. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this camera if you feel like there's a place for it. If you want to learn more about it, I will put a link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.